Hello, folks. Good morning. Wherever it is you watching us from, it's a beautiful sunny Tuesday morning here in Monrovia. Precisely, we on 17th Street, making our way towards the Capitol building, or Capitol Hill to be precise. And we are bringing you a view of Monrovia and its environs ahead of the march on the Capitol protest action. And what we've also gathered is to be a counter protest against that particular protest action by another group or groups who are against the march on the Capitol. And this is also ahead of legislative proceedings today. Today is Tuesday. The legislature here in Liberia, we do have a bicameral legislature. So both the Senate and the House of Representatives will have session today. But main focus is on the House of Representatives, where there is a leadership standoff, a stalemate, if you want to call it that way, between lawmakers 43, though Priscilla Cooper of District Number 5, Monserrado County, has changed her stance. But to get your signature of a resolution signed is a totally different ball game as well. So we remain at 43 against the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Speaker Councillor Jonathan Fonati Kofa. Those colleagues of his calling for him to either resign based on counts they have in their petition, or to have due process accorded him. That wish was also stated by the Justice in Chamber, Justice Yemi Kwekwe Beze. Yesterday was a conference between both parties, and they were asked to accord the Speaker due process. But now the question is, how is due process going to be accorded the Speaker? Will the Speaker preside over his own due process proceeding? The question is no. Who's going to preside? Will the majority bloc go in the main chamber to be under the gavel of the Speaker? They've already stated their position, and that position is no. According to one of the members of the majority bloc, representative for the family of Bon County, the Speaker should go to the joint chamber and be accorded due process. So again, though the court made its position, told them what they need to do, not stopping session, though the court didn't stop session, but they should accord and afford the Speaker due process as well. So we're on 9th Street. We're making our way towards Capitol Hill. As you can see, vehicular traffic is flowing this morning. Students are in school. You can see from here. This is a school, the Bishop Mawia Institute. Students are there going to school. Those are the latecomers, though. So their own case different. 8th Street, Don Bosco is also here. So there is free movement as we speak. And we're going up Capitol Hill to see what's unfolding there as well. The Spoon Network is going to bring you full coverage of the happenings up Capitol Hill today. But this is Monrovia. Before it all goes down, whether or not there will be a protest, calling on lawmakers who are currently camping at the renowned and expensive RLJ resort, whether or not that protest is going to hold any sort of water in making sure that they leave from the RLJ hotel. They've argued that according to their constitutional rights as Liberians, freedom of association, freedom of movement, they can sleep at anywhere. But there are those who are saying if the independent lawmakers, if they have all of their free will. Why are they camping at a place that looks like, according to the speaker, kindergarten kids being held hostage? There's been exchange of words from both sides of the aisle. The media has been heavily engaged in this as well. Public perception is also shaping, reshaping, realigning, and the rest. Everybody's wanting to win the battle of public perception and public sentiment. By the end of the day, it's both political, which is heavily political, than legal. In this case, we've seen speakers resign, bowing to pressure from majority blocks of their time. But at the end of the day, Speaker Kofa and his supporters have, reaffirmed their commitment to uphold the rule of law in Liberia. We did see them posting, all of them posting the same message of upholding the Constitution. So we are watching how this fight unfolds on Capitol Hill. The budget is to be submitted to the legislature, to the House of Representatives through the Speaker. The budget has been delayed, the submission, whether for political reasons or not. The budget will be submitted according to the letter from the Executive Mansion on the 8th of October. But whatever the case is, we are bringing you all of what is unfolding, but you can see for yourselves that there is the free movement of people, there is the free movement of vehicles. So far, we haven't seen the presence of police since we branched on the Tottenham Boulevard from 17th Street. We haven't seen the presence of police officers at the various street corners, but we're getting to the Capitol Hill, the epicenter, the theater of the drama, where all of this will be unfolding and has been unfolding for 3 weeks now. It all started when the Speaker and the President of the Republic of Liberia made a trip of November. Thank you. Oh, my man, you see so? Oh. Yeah. Somebody just banged my car from behind, a motorbike rider, and he just sped off, looked at his bike, and so I have to park off and see, what level of damage has been done. Interesting. Definitely doing me hit and run. But anyway, back to our discussion. When I get to Capitol Hill, I'll look at the level of damage done. Hopefully it's not major. Yeah. But these are some of the things you encounter when you wake up every morning. You say your prayer, for God to guide you through against accidents and incidents and the rest. Some of these things just, but let's go back. Let's go back to why we're here. And we gradually ascending Capitol Hill. We are at the base of Capitol Hill now, and making our way to the grounds of the National Legislature. So it's all peaceful, it's all calm here. There isn't any abnormal traffic congestion. This is normal early morning traffic, the movement of vehicles here on Capitol Hill. But as we're approaching the seat of the National Legislature, we'll see the force, the number of law enforcement officers currently deployed, their deployment, how they deployed, and all of that. But we're on Capitol Hill now, and the hardest spot this November is not the National Elections Commission as was last November, but this time around it is the Capitol building. So we do see pockets of police officers stationed right here as we approach the seat of the executive. The executive mansion is on my left, and then the Capitol building is here. And as you can see, there isn't the heavy presence of state security here this morning as well. Though there is the presence of law enforcement officers, as you see, you just saw one there, and another here, and another contingent is here. But this is the same number we've been seeing for the days now since all of this began. So we're turning in to the grounds of the Capitol just to see what their strength is as well. Good morning, ma. Thomas Langer, Spoon FM and TV.
But you're listening here.
Who's supposed to bring the listing in?
From the office. It's will come from the office.
Yeah, but we journalists as well. We are accredited. We've been here. If the office doesn't bring the list, are you saying that we will only be allowed entry?
Let me see. Open your book.
Okay, let me do that for you.
Yes.
Okay, so I've gone through the inspection here on the grounds of the Capitol. So as you can see, police officers are seated. And this is the theater of all of the drama. The National Legislature. Journalists are already here, and we haven't seen so far the vehicle of the speaker, no. But there is an array of journalists as well as early bird staffers. And this is Capitol building. This is the extension, the annex. And we haven't seen protesters from this end, so we want to use get back on the Tottenham Boulevard and go down towards Capitol Bypass and see whether or not protesters are gathering from that end. All right. So this is the Capitol building before all of the drama. And now all I mentioned, I can hit me in the morning for free. Plus my back bumper. All right, so the executive mansion is there. As you can see, there are some police officers here. 1 minute. Let me speak to them. All right, folks. Want to gather some information to share with you, and so far there are claims and counterclaims as to whether or not the protest is going to hold water, especially based on the fact that one of the key groups that initially said they were going to storm the Capitol, students from the University of Liberia, have withdrawn from any such action. So you can see the police contingent number here. We want to use the way of the police station through Bassatown to 1 minute, folks. Okay, so we're back. So we'll be using the Tottenham Boulevard to go towards the Capitol bypass. To bring you unfoldings and another angle of what's happening here in Monrovia ahead of the planned protest action. So as you can see, police officers are stationed, not so many in their numbers though, but they're stationed just before you reach the Executive Mansion intersection, the road leading to the Executive Mansion and the Capitol building. So we want to use the route through the University of Liberia to see whether or not there are groups camping there, willing to march on the Capitol. So we turning into the main campus of the University of Liberia to use that side and then get back on the Tottenham Boulevard. But so far so good from all of what we've seen, all of what we've shown you so far. It's calm, there's nothing out of the ordinary happening, and there's nothing out of the ordinary happening so far. We haven't seen folks that look like protesters holding placards or wearing t-shirts with protest messages on them. We haven't seen anything of that sort so far. Whether the protesters or would-be protesters are coming in small pockets, we cannot confirm that. We cannot say. But this is entering the main campus of the University of Liberia here on Capitol Hill to see whether or not all right, again we just seen one or two students sitting at the park, and this is the University of Liberia. All right, so bear with me as we show you around. So we're just speaking to some colleagues, accusations coming up, different theories as to what's happening, why the University of Liberia students, withdrew from the planned protest action. There are some reasons are stated, but those reasons haven't been confirmed. There's just speculations. So this is the main campus of the University of Liberia. It's quiet. It's quiet, as you can see. And we're heading out of the main campus, getting back on the Tottenham Boulevard to see if there are any protesters gathering. So if you look at the other gate here of the Capitol building, there are police officers seated, but the number is not a very large one, the contingent of police officers stationed that we've seen so far. It's just right next to the headquarters of the Liberia National Police, though. So we're back on the Todman Boulevard. Traffic is flowing. People going about their activities. We saw students going to school. We're seeing business places opened. This is the next entrance to the Capitol. And there are police officers again, but it's not a very large force. So we're descending the base of Capitol Hill, approaching the bypass, the Capitol bypass. And from all of what we've seen, all of what we've been showing you folks, you see stores are opened, commercial vehicles on the street, people going about their activities, and it's just a ordinary Tuesday. But hours from now, we will see drama unfolding at the House of Representatives again. Whether there will be one session, whether there will be two sessions, as we've seen over the past 3 weeks, whether the speaker will, make himself available to whoever the presiding officer will be to start his due process proceeding. A lot of different speculations, a lot of different things to look out for today. But one thing we can assure you is the Spoon Network is definitely going to bring you all of the unfoldings today from the grounds of the Capitol. If there will be protest action, we will be covering the protest action for you. If there will be two sessions, we will be covering both sessions for you. If there will be one session, we will cover that one session for you. However it pans out today, however it plays out today, the Spoon Network, we've got you covered. So we go in around the old Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, and we'll branch off on Horton Avenue and make our way to Camp Johnson Road. So folks, there you have it. A view of Monrovia ahead of the march on the Capitol, ahead of the divided Capitol drama. Another day in the series. Resign, not resign. Resignation is not an option. We will have our separate session because we've got the majority. So we've branched off on Horton Avenue, and we just want to see the base. Just want to see whether or not there is also a police contingent right here before we get on UN Drive between Bassa Town, UN Drive. Okay. So again, we aren't seeing any presence of riot police officers here, right around the Bassa Town area. Going back up Capitol Hill, we aren't seeing any, apart from these police officers that are doing the enforcement, the traffic enforcement here. We aren't seeing any large force stationed here as well. All right, so we've shown you a 360 of Monrovia, especially around the Capitol Hill, where the march on the Capitol protest is to take place. and where all of the legislative drama is also happening in the battle to oust Speaker Councillor Jonathan Fonati Kofa. And so far, this is what it is. Are there police officers? Yes, in large numbers. No. Have we seen the revered hot water truck? No. A very large force of police officers, riot officers? No. People being inspected, as you can see, leading to the executive mansion. People being inspected. Apart from that, nothing out of the ordinary is happening here at the moment. Nothing out of the ordinary is happening here at the moment. Yes, there are police officers, as we've seen over the past 3 weeks since this entire Capitol Hill drama started off. Yes, there is another police pickup, police officers here, but this has been the number since all of this began. This has been the number. We haven't seen any sort of deployment that looks in the formation to hinder protesters or the rest. We haven't seen anything of that sort this morning. All right, folks, headed back to where we started from. My name is Diamond Slanger. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning here in the nation's capital. Our teams are already positioned to bring you all of what will be unfolding here in Liberia. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for following. Tell your family and friends. If you've witnessed from this video, it's all normal. Normal activities ongoing in the country. There hasn't been a shutdown of activities. Schools are opened. Students are in school. Businesses are operating. It's so far what it is here in Liberia. All right. So if you had a fear of coming to town, oh, I don't come to town, this and that, well, you've seen, come and do your activities. And this is what it is. Okay, so past First Street, and this is where I bid you farewell. This is where I bid you farewell for now. We've shown you all across the Capitol Hill, all sides, 360 the Capitol Hill. Have for ourselves a wonderful morning. Those of you with in the time zone of morning time at this moment. For those of you night, have a pleasant night. Afternoon to those of you in time zones that is in the afternoon. Keep following the Spoon Network. We'll bring you all of what is unfolding up on Capitol Hill as a divided capital continues to exist. Will Speaker Kofa resign? He says resignation is not an option. Will the majority black accord him the due process, for which they said they will, and were told by the court to do so? How many sessions will there be today? We can assure you from Representative Fode Famula's assertion, they will be having their session in the joint chambers as well. All right, with that being said, my name is Diamond Slanger. Have ourselves a wonderful day or a wonderful night. Bye-bye. Let's stay on Citywide small. Yeah. I'll see that bro for long. All right. Let me just carry up to 20th Street. Then finish. That's. December coming and most of you will come down and see that bro, but let me just carry a small, we'll get to 20th Street, then I turn it off. So It's a beautiful morning. We're in our dry season. The sun is up and people going about their activities to and fro. So if you plan on coming to town and you have fears that you might just be caught up, there might be traffic due to protest actions, well, it's early, but this is what we can tell you at this moment. There isn't any protest action happening at the moment. Whether the protest action will be staged later, you can rest assured that there isn't anything happening at the moment. Are stores opened? Are businesses opened? If your question is that, yes, stores are open, businesses are opened, schools are opened. As you can see, this is the headquarters of Orange, one of the offices of Orange GSM company, and you can see Orca Deco is opened. This is St. Peter's Lutheran School is opened. School is in session, so you can see students walking the hallway. Supermarkets, stores, the rest are opened. So there isn't any panic being spread around that, oh, businesses are closed, people not going about their activities, there is a shutdown of the city. This is a bank. A bank is here. The SIB bank is opened. So to answer your question, yes, you can go about your activities. Is there a heavy presence of police officers around the Capitol building, the Capitol Hill area? There is a presence of police officers, as we've seen over the past 3 weeks, but it's not a very, very large force. You know, there isn't the deployment of a riot prevention formation, nothing of that sort. Vehicular traffic is flowing freely. Yeah, I got searched to enter the Capitol building. The compound of the Capitol building is a normal security protocol to know what I'm bringing in. You know, that wasn't offensive in any way. It was just the security guard doing her work. So there you have it. 20th Street, as I said, where I'll be leaving you. Let me cross the one working traffic light. Alright. So it seems like the traffic lights are now working. We're doing our own thing now. Alright. So there you have it, folks. But it's too early to conclude that there wouldn't be any protest. It's too early to conclude that. Whether the organizers are planning on mobilizing at a particular point and then marching up onto the Capitol. We have our folks all around to make sure that if there will be anything of that sort, we can bring you full coverage of that. Whether they will gather in smaller numbers around the Capitol and then converge on one spot and you know, make their voices heard. We cannot tell what their format is, but they said it's a march on the Capitol, so they will be starting off at a point and marching up onto the Capitol. So wherever that point is, we will be following up as well. So this is the Vamuma junction, and again, we cannot see any excessive or massive presence of police officers here. Just one police vehicle and a lone police officer, and that is what we've seen so far. So there isn't the intimidating presence or a massive show of force of the Liberian National Police. So folks, I said bye 3 times, and this is the final one. Okay folks, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful night and a wonderful day. My name is Diamond Slanger on behalf of the Spoon Network. As I said earlier, we'll be bringing you full coverage of what will be unfolding up on Capitol Hill. Till that time, bye-bye.